Yo, what's up, guys? Dice Sports here, and we have a lot more NBA signings. Starting with the Indiana Pacers just signed Kyle O'Quinn to a 1 year, $4.5 million deal. And this is a decent signing. This is a pretty good signing here. I mean, Kyle O'Quinn, he's a really good all around player. He's a big man that can shoot. Okay, not shoot, he can score, I mean. He can rebound, he can pass, he can play. He has some defense. He's not horrible. Just a really great role player. And coming off the bench for the Pacers team, that'll be huge because you know what they did last year in the playoffs in the first round, taking the Cavs to 7 games, almost beating them. And now with Miles Turner getting a hell of a lot better, and Victor Oladipo turning into a superstar, the signing of Tyreke Evans and now Kyle O'Quinn, the Pacers are going to be even better than last year. And with the draft too, getting Aaron Holiday, so really good signing here. The Oklahoma City has bought out Carmelo Anthony's contract, and Carmelo is now a free agent. This could save the Thunder $100 million by buying out Carmelo's contract. And I'm not sure how to feel about this because a lot of people are saying Carmelo is horrible now, blah, blah, blah. I will admit he had a really bad season last year, but that's only because he didn't fit in with the Thunder's play style, and of course Billy Donovan is a horrible head coach. In my opinion, Carmelo still has a lot to give. He just needs to find the right team that can bring that out in him again. Could be the Lakers, could be the Rockets, I'm not really sure. But what I do know is the Thunder did not use him right. I mean, you got to know how to use Carmelo. You got to surround him with players that are good. And Westbrook having to do it by himself, of course Melo was going to have a bad season. I mean, you need to surround Carmelo with defensive players, rebounders, a couple other three-point shooters. That was just a really weird Thunder team, and Carmelo just didn't fit in because Westbrook needed a three-point knockdown shooter. Carmelo is a good scorer, but not a consistent three-point shooter like a Korver or Ray Allen. He's a good scorer, a great offensive player, but they wanted Melo to play defense and rebound and be this athletic god that he was at for Denver, which I knew wasn't going to happen. So yeah, that really messed up the whole Thunder team, and I'm kind of happy about this for both ways because now the Thunder can get better and Carmelo can find a team that he really fits in with. So this is great for both parts. For both people. I don't really know how to say it. This has got to be the weirdest signing in NBA history. Tony Parker is not going to be a Spur for the first time in his career. This is going to be weird because I grew up watching Tony Parker and Tim Duncan and Manu Ginobili all on the Spurs, and he agreed to a 2-year, $10 million deal with the Charlotte Hornets. I'm really confused by this. I didn't think the Hornets needed a point guard because they have Kemba Walker. So really confused by this signing. Just a weird one. To see Tony Parker in another team's jersey at all is just, it put chills down my spine. The Sacramento Kings offered Zach Lavine a 4-year, $80 million deal. And almost immediately, the Bulls matched that offer. So now Lavine has a massive contract, and he's going back to Chicago for 4 more years, unless he gets traded, of course. But I think this is a little bit too much money for Lavine. I do think he is a good player. He's a very good NBA player, but very injury prone. Same with Jabari Parker. But in Zach Lavine, he doesn't have a mid-range jumper. Well, at least a consistent one. He has a decent three-pointer. Of course, super athletic, can drive the lane, but what happens to that athleticism after this torn ACL, was it, or meniscus? I don't remember which one it was, but huge injury that will affect his athleticism. So, I don't know. I feel like he's a little overpaid, but unless he can come back to his old self and get even better, then of course it was worth it. But just scenarios. The Spurs are losing everybody Kyle Anderson agreed to a 4-year, $37.2 million offer sheet with the Grizzlies. And if the Spurs accept this, they will be overpaying for him. So hopefully the Spurs will just let Kyle Anderson leave to the Grizzlies and let the Grizzlies pay all that money. Please do not do this, Spurs. Be smart. I feel like they will, and they'll let Kyle Anderson walk, but who knows with everyone that's leaving. And big man Jusuf Nurkic just agreed to a 4-year, $53 million deal with the Portland Trail Blazers. This is a really good signing. Nurkic is a tough, hard-nosed guy. He can get rebounds. He can score pretty good. A really nice signing for the Blazers. They needed him. He needed them. So, good for both parties. The Warriors are back at it again. The Utah Jazz released Jonas Jerebko, which I'm a little surprised at, and the Warriors signed him to a 1-year deal. Of course, he fits the Warriors team. He's a big man. I think he's 6'10", 6'11", maybe. Knock down threes like hell. His offensive game is just amazing, but it's mainly his three-point shot and his outside shooting that really makes him who he is. And with the Warriors, he's going to obviously excel more than ever with all the ball movement and how much three-point shooting the Warriors do. So there we go, another great fit for the Warriors. There is no stopping them next year. No point even watching the NBA next season. And Devin Booker is out here getting cash as him and the Suns agreed to a 5-year, $158 million deal. So Devin Booker is going to be staying with the Suns for a long time. Huge deal. Of course, only superstar on the Suns. Okay, not a superstar, but only star player on the Suns. This is a great move by the Suns. Of course, you need to keep him there. You need a great player to attract more free agents there. And Devin Booker is a great player. He's just improving his game more and more. So yeah, great signing here for the Suns. Zaza Pachulia is leaving Golden State. He just signed a 1-year, $2.4 million deal with the Detroit Pistons. This is a very odd signing. The Lakers got rid of, Brook Lopez was a free agent, so Lakers got rid of his huge contract, and Brook Lopez signed a 1-year, $3.4 million deal with the Milwaukee Bucks. This is a weird signing because I really expected Brook Lopez to take another huge paycheck from some team. So this is actually a great move by both Brook Lopez and the Milwaukee Bucks. Except the Milwaukee Bucks really need to think about what you're doing, because you need a rebounder and you need a shot blocker, which Brook Lopez is actually he's a decent rebounder. He can be a really good rebounder, but the last 2 years he has not been very good at rebounding. He's a decent shot blocker. Not the best, but he can still shoot, he can still block shots. He's a great offensive player. He's an offensive threat. He can shoot, he can score on the inside, he has a free throw shot as well. Amazing signing by the Bucks. If Brook Lopez can turn into the star he once was with the Brooklyn Nets, getting 2 blocks a game and 6 to 7 rebounds. His offense has been really good throughout his whole career, except for last year. That was his worst year in everything. Of course, he did get less minutes, but he couldn't rebound. And that was his worst year for rebounds ever. I watched some Lakers games, and watching Brook Lopez try to rebound was a little pathetic, but hopefully he can get back to his former Brooklyn Nets self, and he can ball out for this 1-year deal with the Milwaukee Bucks and give the Bucks a real playoff chance. And someone decided to stay in San Antonio finally, as Davis Bertans agrees to a 4-year, $20 million deal with the Spurs. The Clippers have signed Luc Mbah a Moute to a 1-year, $4.3 million deal, and I really don't know if I said his name right or not, but he's a really good role player. A nice signing for the Clippers.